Hey now, good morning. Happy Monday, PAs, W staff, clients, and friends joining us. Yes, last week we had a holiday, so we didn't do a new film scoring class. But we re-looked at Ben-Hur on Thursday and then looked at your results Friday. So that was a lot of fun. Big epic score, right? The Miklos Rozsa score. So we're going to continue our TV scoring, as we've done a lot. And this one's a little bit similar to the one we did a few weeks ago, but we're going to take a look at, it's a great score to this. We're going to take a look at The Crown.
It would help if we could decide here and now on your name.
My name?
Yes, ma'am. Your regnal name. That is the name you will take as queen.
Let's not overcomplicate matters unnecessarily. My name is Elizabeth.
And long live Queen Elizabeth.
Don't you get sick of it all? And lonely?
I do. Which is why it's so important to have the right person by your side.
You understand, the titles, they're not the job. She is the job. Loving her, protecting her, she is the essence of your duty.
We have a new sovereign, young, and a woman.
I'll escort her down from here.
No, sir. If you don't mind, the Crown takes precedence.
You don't think I would have preferred to grow up out of the spotlight? Away from the scrutiny and the visibility?
Be firm, just lay down the law. I know he's Winston Churchill and all that, but remember who you are. You're
Nobody.
the Queen of England.
This new Elizabethan age comes at a time when mankind stands on the edge of catastrophe.
You my wife or my queen?
I am both, and a strong man will be able to kneel to both.
I will not kneel before my wife.
Your wife is not asking you to.
But my queen commands me.
Yes.
I beg you make an exception for me.
No.
What kind of marriage is this? What kind of family?
I need to speak to my sister. Now!
I am aware that I'm surrounded by people who feel that they could do the job better. Strong people with powerful characters. But for better or worse, the crown has landed on my head.
I have seen 3 great monarchies brought down through their failure to separate personal indulgences from duty. You must not allow yourself to make similar mistakes. The crown must win. Must always win.
So The Crown, as you can see from the trailer, historical drama about the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, who just passed away. You know, a Netflix show, and we're here for the score and for the credits, because that's what we've been working on together and writing together in class. Now that we're back in person, we can kind of do that more. So interesting trailer, but we're here for the music. So let's take a look at, we know Hans Zimmer, we've talked a lot about his scores. We've done a lot of different movie scores, but as you can see, he's also done TV scores. Let's take a look at the credits and see what kind of things we hear. So a very dramatic score. And we looked at this with Downton Abbey a few weeks ago. A lot of drama. I mean, and we'll take a look at the score in a little bit. We hear strings, right? Mostly strings, percussion, some bass drum, stuff like that. So Hans Zimmer's really good at creating this sound, this kind of big, intense, dramatic sound, because it's a drama, right? The show is dramatic, so it needs to have music that supports that drama. So let's take a look at just the score, see musically, what's Hans doing with this. So the score starts really soft, right? Just with kind of woodwinds. And then it gets into this, the score gets more dramatic because of the strings, right? Ostinato, the repeating sections. This sounds English, and it should sound English because, you know, The Crown's about the royal family, even though Hans Zimmer is German. It has nothing to do with that. This, and we're going to relook at a composer Thursday, who was very famous for being one of the first English composers that sounded English. But this sounds Baroque-like, and a little bit like Handel, a little bit like Purcell. And we're going to look at Henry Purcell on Thursday, and that's the person I was talking about. But why does it sound like that? It sounds almost Baroque-like because there's that descending bass and inversions, and we that goes back to Bach. But this doesn't sound like Bach, and it sounds a little bit like Purcell and Handel, but it sounds like a contemporary film score. But he's using elements of Baroque with descending bass and inversions in minor. Most of these things are always in minor, in a minor key, because that's more dramatic. You know, minor's sad, major's happy. You know, we've talked about the history of chord progressions and stuff. Okay, so let's take a look at the credits just visually without any music. So we need a score. We need it to sound like Hans Zimmer. We could use something else that sounds, you know, it's got a minor mode, you know, dramatic strings, something dramatic, right? And something orchestral. Not hip hop, not Hawaiian, nothing like that. We're getting much better in our choices. Something that's going to be and it can sound English. That's okay, but something that sounds like Hans Zimmer's score. Really great, effective, and the hard part is you have to do this very quickly. I mean, with Breaking Bad, it was like 15 or 18 seconds long, but you got to get to the point very quickly because you have under a minute, you know, to get the tone of the show, and we've talked about the tone a lot. So so find something that could sound like that, and then we'll write something too in class perhaps this week. Okay, so get something, you know, by tomorrow, and then we'll see the results Friday. We're going to look at Henry Purcell on Thursday, so it's going to be a fun week. Okay, have a great rest of the day, and see you tomorrow. Bye.